I think the concern is anytime you have a device where you're not fully familiar with the source code, you're not quite sure what can happen. This is one of the main reasons people are such a fan of open source solutions, so you can actually look at the source code, you can verify that there are no bugs, and if there are any issues, you can make sure that there are ways to work around them.
So is the concern that they are in control of that, and so somewhere before that equipment is installed within a network, it could be tampered with, or that they would have the quote-unquote keys to the kingdom because they understand the code as well as maybe the person who's buying the equipment?
Well, I think in any industry, there's concerns about the supply chain attack, right? If we look back at the attack in Ukraine a few years back that was called NotPetya, basically a piece of tax software was backdoored by one of our adversaries, and they used that to deploy malware all across the Ukraine and to other countries, and ultimately that was used to cause billions and billions of dollars worth of damage. I think it was one of the most damaging cyber attacks ever known.
You know what, in reading about the story, Craig, what surprised me, or the thing that I learned that I thought was most interesting, was this upgrade to 5G. The current system is such that the cell towers, as I understand it, is more isolated from the core system. But in the 5G network, the cell towers take on some of the tasks of the core system. And so therefore, if you attack that cell tower, you actually make the system a little bit more vulnerable. So how crucial is it at this point when places around the world are upgrading to 5G to try and get the quote-unquote right or the most secure equipment in place in the first place?
Well, I think when it comes down to security, one of the most important things is network visibility. And this comes down to anything from your device, from your network, to your cloud. And it's really one of the core reasons you've got to have an enterprise security architecture. Without that visibility across all the devices, it really becomes more difficult to monitor. And when you increase the speeds of those devices, it becomes even more challenging, which is why having that full integrated visibility is so important.
Will 5G ultimately be safer from cyber threats than the current system?
There are things in it that I think have the potential to make things safer, but at the end of the day, only time will tell.